Welcome to your math lesson for today. We're going to be doing some more practice for adding and subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. To get started, I'd like for you to get on IXL. I'd like you to set your timer for 10 minutes, and I want you to practice fractions and mixed numbers L1, fractions review, or L2, equivalent fractions, whichever is challenging to you. Just 10 minutes of a quick review. Please do that now, then come back to the video. Okay, today your learning target is I can add and subtract mixed numbers and fractions. We're going to start out really easy. First of all, the basic steps for adding fractions is number 1, check for common denominators. Number 2, add the numerators only. Number 3, keep the denominators the same. So those are the steps you're going to see repeated over and over in today's lesson. Here's the first one. We're going to just start really basic, adding like fractions. First, you're going to check for common denominators. In these fractions, they are like fractions because they already have common denominators. 9 here and a 9 here. Number 2, add the numerators only. And number 3, keep the denominators the same. Really easy way to do this is to help yourself is to draw a picture. So I've drawn a picture here of a pizza, and I have 2/9 of that pizza shaded in. Now I need to add to it 5/9. So I'm going to do 1/9, 2/9, 3/9, 4/9, 5/9. So I've added 5/9 to it. Now total, how many pieces I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And my total in all pieces to make a whole, my denominator, is still 9. Okay, so if you look at this, all I did was 2 plus 5 equals 7, and my denominators stay the same. Here are some more for adding fractions. Once again, I want you to add the numerators only, not the denominators. So look at this one. We have 3/8 plus 2/8. If you want to draw a picture of this, please do. 3 plus 2 is 5, and we keep the denominator the same. Let's do the next one together. Check for common denominators, 25 and 25. Okay, we're good. Now we can add the numerators. 10 plus 4 is 14. We keep the denominator the same. Go through these same steps over and over again. Check for common denominators. On number 4, we have 40. 40, we're good to go. All we need to do is add the numerators. 8 plus 15. 23. Keep the denominator the same. 40. Pretty simple. Next, let's look at subtracting like fractions. Once again, we're going to check for those common denominators. 8 and 8, they're common, they're the exact same. Then we should be able to do the numerators only, and then keep the denominators the same. I've drawn a picture here. If you're stuck, please draw pictures. Here I have 7/8, and I'm going to subtract, so it's like me eating 4/8. So I'm going to eat this piece 2, this piece 3, and this piece 4. So we're going to look at how many pieces do I have left. I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces left. So my numerator should be 3. My denominator, though, is still how many pieces in my whole. So my denominator is still 8. So 7 minus 4 is 3, and our denominators stay the same, 3/8. Let's look at these ones here. Same idea. First, check for common denominators. 21, 21. Okay, we're ready to subtract. So 28 minus 8, 20. My denominator stays the same. Subtract the numerators. 5 minus 1 is 4. Denominator stays the same. So 6, 6, and 6. Right down here, let's check for our denominators. 35, 35. We're good to go. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 35, 35, so this stays at 35. All right, pretty easy. Check for common denominators, add the numerators only, keep the denominators the same. We're just going to add one more step here, and that's step number 4, add or subtract whole numbers to be able to add and subtract mixed numbers. So same idea, I'm just going to look at my fraction part first, then I'll do my whole numbers. So if I'm looking at my fraction part here, I've got 5/5 plus 3/5. Okay, well we know that we're just going to add the numerators. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then we're going to keep the denominators the same, fifths. Then we're going to go back and we're going to look at our whole numbers. We have 7 and 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14. Now, if you're looking at this, hopefully you're realizing that 14 and 8/5 8/5 can actually become a whole nother piece, or a whole nother whole. So if you would like to, you could change that into 15 and 3/5. If you leave it as 14 and 8/5, that's okay too. Let's try another one of these. This time we're going to do subtracting. So we're going to go through our steps. Step 1, check for common denominators. 2 and a 2. Great. So 7 minus 2 equals 5. 2 and 2, the denominators, like step number 3 says, stay the same. Step number 4, add or subtract the whole numbers. Well, we have 1 minus, and there's no whole number here. So 1 minus 0 is 1. So we have 1 and 5/2. What I want you to do right now is to pause this and complete your yellow worksheet. It's going to be focused on adding and subtracting fractions with common denominators, as well as adding and subtracting mixed numbers that already have common denominators. Please stop and do this now. Have it checked.